So hello guys, and welcome to another episode of the 12 Days of Switchmas, and today I will be covering Emio the Smiling Man, Famicom Detective Club. And this game shocked me, because it was amazing. It was way better than I was expecting. I mean, I was expecting to enjoy it to some degree, because it was very intriguing, like even with the presentation of this game alone, but as someone who's into like more like action games, action adventure games, and RPGs and different things like that, I wasn't really expecting to be that invested in a Japanese adventure game. And yes, I say Japanese adventure game and not visual novel, because this is not a visual novel. Visual novels are less interactive, whereas this has more puzzle solving elements and more point-and-click elements to it. Like, there's definitely a lot more interaction here, because you do think about what you're doing in this game. It's not extremely straightforward. And that actually made it more immersive for me. I actually kind of prefer this to, like, a straight-up visual novel, I would say. And I'm not saying that against visual novels, I'm just saying that because people use the term visual novel as a way to undersell these games or insult these games, when they are really not visual novels. So I just think it's inaccurate to call it that. So it is a pretty interactive experience here, because like going through like different conversations and trying to find out more information is very engaging, I would say. I think it's pretty interesting, and it actually kind of immerses you into the story more, because you're actually thinking and remembering about certain events. You even like recap certain events, so you have to kind of like remember a lot of these things. So it is a very engaging experience here, and I just really enjoyed it overall. I'm definitely going to have to play more of these games. I need to play the other Famicom Detective Club games. I really wish there was a physical version of the remakes in North America, because for some reason, the Japanese cartridge doesn't allow you to play the English version of the game, which is absolutely ridiculous. But hopefully it gets a release at some point, kind of like how some games like got releases later on, like physical copies, like Bayonetta 1 and stuff like that. But the story of this game is really interesting. It is definitely much darker than most Nintendo games, and it definitely warrants the M rating here. It's kind of interesting. Like, this is like the first game that has like involvement with Nintendo EPD that is actually rated M. I know it was partially developed by Mages, but EPD was still involved with this. And Sakamoto was heavily involved as well, since he was involved with quite a lot of aspects of this game, including like the plot and the script and different things like that. And the story is really interesting. It involves like this urban legend that came up in like the setting of the game, with like this figure called Emio the Smiling Man that went up to like girls and who were sad and killed them and put a paper bag over their head with like a smile drawn on it. It's really dark. And there were basically these murders from like 18 years prior that the detectives had to find information about this and connect it to the present murder that happened in the game as well. I'm not going to spoil anything, but it gets pretty crazy. And it's really interesting to see like how a lot of these characters like react to this, or have information about certain things that happened like surrounding like these murders or different things, and have different connections that help you find like the culprit and everything. So it is just fascinating, and I really enjoyed it overall. And some parts of it get pretty intense for a Nintendo game, I would say. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna spoil it, because I really want you to experience this for yourself, if you're interested in it. But yeah, and I love the visuals in this game as well. It has like a really cool art style here, like a 2D art style. And there's even some really well animated cutscenes as well. I'm not gonna get into the details, because it does cover some pretty spoilery heavy moments, but the cutscenes in this game can get pretty interesting as well. But yeah, anyways, Emio really surprised me. Even though we were originally thinking this was going to be a horror game, I feel like I got more substance out of this than if it would have been just a generic horror game. I mean, there are horror elements in here, definitely later in the game, but it still is a very good Japanese adventure game. So anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more, and make sure to check out my Discord server and Blue Sky if you want to. Goodbye.